All right. Guys and girls, back at it again. One more try at finishing this mega-sized Gundam. You see he's pretty tall. Look at that. That's pretty big. Hey, got my Slytherin shirt on for you, brother. Although I am House Gryffindor. I just saw the shirt a while back and I got it because it was pretty badass. All right, let's get to it. There we are. There we go. You can see me. I can see you. My dude. Avada Kedavra. Get some anime music going on in the background because, what better music to listen to when you're building Gundams than anime music? So I have to do the last part to the backpack. We're going to get that going. And I believe one of the parts is done. I was actually a little distraught yesterday because I was looking for one of the poly caps that they say to use, and I couldn't find it. And I was like, holy crap, I'm going to be SOL. But then I remembered there was a separate little sprue with little baby poly caps. And it's white. It's clear, like clear white, frosted white. So basically wound up on the floor of the box, and the box floor is white, so I couldn't see it. So here we are. Because I'm blind, damn it. Gryffindor jocks. Yeah, kind of, I guess. But, they fight for what's right? I mean, that's all we can ask for. I mean, you're going to give me that right is a matter of perspective. You can, you know what you could do. B, 14, and 10. All right. Let's find some parts here. No, it's not on that one. Let it go. B, here we go. 10 and 14. Got him. So I remembered to hit the go live button today, guys. So I probably shot myself in the foot yesterday for not doing it, but I'm still learning this stuff, so we're getting there. Little by little. Okay, that's one. Trust the X-Acto. And look, hey, I got Band-Aids now just in case I cut myself again. Because I cut myself. Hoo-ha. Snape was what? That's right. Snape did fight for what's right. You're absolutely right. He did. But he was a double agent, so he had that role to play, unfortunately. And I think he got like he was like not credited until the very end of even in the movies, like he just wasn't credited to the very end, which kind of sucked. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of grown men even crying in the theaters, tearing up for old Snape, who wasn't really the bad guy. Fucking Harry Potter and his little gang of misfits. Misfits is what they are. Rule breakers. Slackers. But I joke. I kid. They did stuff. They did good stuff. I mean, they saved the school. Like, I don't know how many times. I honestly think, though, those kids would have been dead in the first movie if it wasn't for Hermione. I'm just going to throw it out there. Probably an unpopular opinion, but she, if it wasn't for her, they probably would have died. I'm assuming it goes like this. what the banana sandwich? That goes. Aha! It goes like this. Get in there. That's not right. There we go. Oh yeah. Now do the other half. That's just to hold the beam saber in place. Because, you know, gotta have somewhere to stash your shanks. It's actually not a shank, it's a beam saber. But it's funny because when it comes to Gundams, they actually have, some of them actually have little shanks in their like shoulder. Some have them like in the side armor right here. It's a little tiny heat dagger they'll pull out. They have to shank somebody real quick. You know, if they run out of their ammo or the beam saber gets lost or whatever. They shank fools. Shank, shank. These two pieces here. Hey, if you're up for it, man, I'm here. You can join me. I'm probably not going to be on here as long as I was yesterday, or try not to be, because I got laundry to do, and I got, you know, it's laundry day. Got to clean my skivvies. Plus, I don't know. I don't foresee this. I got the arms left to do, and then that should be that, and the weapons, and then she done. We're gonna clean these guys up a little bit. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little story, since I like to talk. And I don't know if anybody's listening or whatever. I told the story yesterday, but it turned out I was talking to myself for about an hour and a half, so nobody heard it, which is embarrassing. How I started with Gundam model kits, Gunpla. I saw them, bought them, liked them. That's it. End of story. No, just kidding. It's a little more involved than that. I figured I'd share. So my buddy Brian Martinez, aka Zanamaru, he we were going to different high schools first freshman year, and he met somebody named Morris Gemlang, cool kid, artist, just like us. Brian and I are both artists. We love to draw. We love to create comic books and stuff like that as we were kids. We did all that stuff, you know, so it was natural that Brian would find like-minded people, especially in high school, you know. So I guess Brian he wanted to go by Morris's house one day, and he's like, hey, come with me. You can meet my friend Morris, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yes, cool, whatever. You know, I was that kind of guy. I was like, yeah, cool, whatever. So we went out there, went to his house, went up to his room, and he had I lost one of those polycaps. Damn it. Huh. Oh, man. Hey, you at work, son? I wish I was at work. Shit. Working's for suckers. No, just kidding. But yeah, he, on his drawing table or computer table, whatever it was, I can't remember, he had a couple of Gundams. And I didn't know what they were. But I knew what giant robots were. I mean, I watched like Mazinger Z and Getter Robo and that Macross and stuff. But it was just cool to see them, you know. And so he introduced me to him, and we went and took a trip up to this place in Arlington Heights called Mitsuwa Marketplace. and it was like a Japanese market. Like they had a grocery store, bookstore, tons of different restaurants. You can get udon noodles and all kinds of cool stuff. And they had a small toy store there, and in the toy stores where they had all the Gundam kits. And so I paid for one. I went and bought one because I thought they were cool. I think I paid like $20. It was a 1/144th scale kit of the Double Z full armor, which it's kind of cool. It's cool. I like it. Double Z's cool. There we go. Backpack's done. Let's find out. Yep, looks like it's done. Then we're gonna put that to the torso. So I bought the kit, took it home. I was super excited, to get home and just build it and see, just to see, you know what I mean? And I opened up the box, and then I realized, holy crap, you gotta paint these. Like, I did not know that they required paint. Like, not even in a little bit. I was totally like, whoa. And I know most model kits. I don't know why, because I built model kits since I was really little, and they all come one color. So, yeah, back then the Gundams were all one color, and then you would basically just paint it as you saw fit. Now these Gundam kits, they all come, I would say predominantly 95% colored. Like, they all come with the different colors needed for the parts. You could actually just, panel line this, and it'll be done. Let's see, get this up here first. We're going to attach the torso. Get in there. Okay. That's in there pretty tight. It does swivel. Very cool. I'm actually thinking about laying this big guy down because he's huge. But yeah, that was my first introduction to it in high school, and I liked them ever since. And I didn't get to see much of the show right away because it was overseas. It wasn't here. And then I finally got a hold of 0079. I don't remember the designation of the story. I can't remember what it was called, but basically, it was the first. It was Grandpa Gundam, and I watched it. I thought it was, it was really dated. The animation was really dated, but it's still really cool. It was like a really cool view on robots. I mean, it was kind of like Macross in a sense. I mean, Macross, came out later, but we saw it first because it came here because of Harmony Gold. So it had that whole premise that the robots were there. They were big, but they weren't superheroes like in Getter Robo or Mazinger. They were like tools, like vehicles, like fighter pilots or tanks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they were, basically mobile tanks with arms and heads, and the mechs that could fly were basically fighter jets, with arms and legs, which, kind of made it more approachable in a sense. Like, okay, that could be a thing, like a real thing, because, we wouldn't, if we made a giant robot and use it for military application, I'm pretty sure other countries would do the same thing, and then they wouldn't be as dynamic. It's not like what's that movie that just came out with the kaiju? Why is it Pacific Rim? Those things are like superheroes for their country, whereas these things are like tools. Now the Gundams themselves are really powerful because they're made with different armor, different weaponry, all kinds of, advancements. So they're made better, which is why, like, a standard mobile suit, which is basically a patrol suit or a guard suit or something, is not going to stand up to a Gundam because it's just not, the armor is better. The beam technology is better. Now they have psycho-frame technology, which allows the pilot to mind meld with the machine so that the thought process, the piloting process is smoother so that when they think it and it does it. It's not like you know it's not like you could still they still move the controls and stuff, but the thing is more responsive, more agile. It helps the pilot do its thing better. All right, looks like we're gonna go to the arms. PC6 and J times 2. I need a J piece. Is it in here? Is it J? No. I do need a 6 though. 5. Where's my... Last 2 6s. M1. B. Oh, this box is so damn big, I gotta reach to get to it. J. There we are. What's up, Cujo? You know what? Voltron was a big thing too. I really liked Voltron. I was a big fan of it. I just recently watched the Netflix original, which was really good too. Um, Voltron was Voltron. And as a kid, you're just enthralled by it, right? Like it's just awesome. But when you look at it, he's just another one of those, superhero mechs. When he drew the blazing sword, that was it. It was over. He was that end game. It didn't matter how powerful the monster was or what damage it did or whatever. Voltron drew the sword. That was it. It was over, son. And those row beasts were like, I'm out. I quit. Kind of like the Power Rangers and their giant Megazord. I think that's what it's called. Megazord. When they got their weapon off, it was like, all right, well, it's a wrap now. C213 PC1. C212 PC1. All right. I believe it's this. C2. 12. Here we go. All right. Shoulder time. I never had any of the Voltron toys. Good morning. Yeah, I never got any of the Voltron toys. I tried to later, but you know how it is with marketing and stuff. It just gets expensive here. When they think anything is like, oh, the kids like it, well, we're gonna charge a fucking arm and a leg for it. And I just, it was at a time I just couldn't afford it. But it is what it is, right? Like let's get PC1. This one goofy little thing. Where are you? Sorry, guys, I'm looking for a part again. Oh, there we go. Haha. If it was a snake, it'd have bit me. Let's clean these two pieces up real quick, real quick. No, actually, that is my nephew's car. You guys can check his channel out. It's at Gabe's underscore addiction. That's his car, Pennywise. No, I don't drive, but I have a Dodge Grand Caravan, because I got family. But yeah, that's his project car. You know what I mean? Like, he's gone through many different cars. He's had Imprezas, he's had Jeeps, he's had more Mustangs, he's had Chargers. You know what I'm saying? He's had a bunch of different cars. But I think when you saw the 18, he settled on the 2018 Mustang, and that's where he's at now. That's not to say that's where he's going to stay. I personally hope he does, but it all depends on, timing, money, and circumstance. He's going to school right now, getting his C+, C++, so he can get his certification to do computer work, because he used to work for local cable company out there, and he wanted to up his game and just do better and do more. And it's funny, I always tell my my nephew is like me. I have several nephews and nieces, but this one, he's a lot like me, man. He's just hungry, and he doesn't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not the kind of person to say, okay, I'll accept that. You know what I'm saying? He's the kind of person, like, when we know we can achieve, we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just who we are, and it's one of the things I love about him. You know what I'm saying? He never gives up, no matter what comes at him. He was in the service. He served the country, so he's a veteran. He did get hurt, out there in Afghanistan. And, he's working with his injuries. He's working with his PTSD. He's working with a lot of things that normal people will be like, well, this is a problem and I need help and I need everyone to take care of me for. He's not that person. He's, like I said, he's like me. He's like, look, if I can breathe and if I can move, you better damn well be sure I'm going to do that. And that's what he's doing. I love him for it. I'm proud of him for it, actually. He's done so much in so short of time with nothing. I mean, the kid came from nothing, man. You know what I mean? And when I say nothing, the kid was sleeping in someone's basement on a cot in the laundry room during his senior year, because he didn't want to move to Texas with his mother and, not finish school, and then he went right into the service, and, he's been kicking ass ever since. So it's pretty awesome. You guys didn't need to know that, but I just felt I should share it because he's a bad motherfucker. And it's funny because he's my nephew, and as a kid, I inspired him to do things to be better. And now as my nephew, and he inspires me to do things and do better. It's so crazy how that works out. Yeah, it's interesting how family pans out. All right. Let's get these nubs in here. I'm going to use this in a game of 40K. This is going to be my Warlord Titan. Yeah, that you know what? Hey, you're not wrong, man. I'm not here's the deal, guys. I don't like Mustangs. I was never a Mustang fan, except for the 66. Like, those were the old days, you know what I'm saying? Those old cars were the shit to me. So I wasn't a big modern Mustang fan, you know what I mean? My brother-in-law has, like, he's had a couple as well. He's actually got one in the garage that has some very rare paint, the paint that they use in the $20 bills, that iridescent paint. He has that. So anytime they scratch the car, they have to bring the paint. They have to use a little bit that they can, and then they have to take the paint back, so he doesn't even get to keep it. But I never was a fan of them. I was always a fan of Chevy and Camaros and things like that. But this Mustang, I don't know what it is. Like, this one, just the way the colors came out, the black on black wheels, you know what I'm saying? Just everything that he did with this one just not overdone, but really nice. Just really nice. That's why I'm I'm like imploring him to please keep the damn car. Don't don't get rid of it. I7 and I6. Let's do this. Oh, get over here. Fumbling for parts. I'm looking for parts, guys. I apologize. 4 and 5. That's not what I need. 7 and 6. Booyakasha. There we go. So yeah, I mean, he's he's had so many cars though. There were so many that I liked that he got rid of, and I was kind of like, damn it. He had a Subaru Impreza WRX, and I was like, keep it, But it just wasn't. It just wasn't for him. He had a Ford Focus RS, and that thing was badass, manual transmission and everything. But he drives him a little bit, and he's like, you know what, it's not for me, and he to the curb, which I can't blame him. You know what I'm saying? I really cannot blame him. You want to, if you're going to pay a shit ton of money for a car, you might as well have something you want to keep, for anything. I mean, shit. Don't buy some shit you don't want just because you're under pressure or whatever. That's some bullshit. So I know I've said this before and probably sound like a broken record. But hey, Cujo, you guys, man, we got to work something out, man. Get together, meet up, play some D&D or do something, roll some dice, bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, just hang out. Maybe at a convention somewhere. I mean, Haight says that his spot is central to all of us, for all of the guys up in Canada and for me all the way over here. He says that we're central, so I mean, I'm down to give it a shot once I'm able to travel. Because right now I can't. Just because of my medical situation, like doctors they don't want me traveling until a year after my surgery. So that'll be June 2020. So, I mean, after that, if we want to make plans, I'm pretty sure we could figure something out. That'd be pretty badass. Get the guild together and roll some dice. Just saying, just throwing it out there. But, you never know. And I think like Gen Con would be a great place to do that if we could, but I think at this point it's probably late. I know that sounds weird, but Gen Con fills up so fast and the hotels in the area fill up so fast that you'd be hard pressed to actually get a good spot, from there. Usually what winds up happening is people wind up booking. It's like the Star Wars celebration. They wind up booking before they leave or after they leave the hotel for the last event. They'll wind up booking for the next one. As soon as they find out where, people start booking. And I think the next Star Wars convention is in Anaheim. It's supposed to be in Anaheim, California. But they also said that there's rumors saying that the Star Wars convention they're going to try to do it every year in Chicago. Not that they're not going to do it anywhere else, but they're going to, I think because of the space and whatever that the McCormick Place offers, they're thinking about doing it either every year in Chicago or every year in the United States. Because it was a time where they didn't do that. They did 1 year here and 1 year overseas somewhere. So shoulders. All right. We're moving along. G9 and G10. G. What the head's gonna be? Wind up being last. Looking for parts. I hate looking for parts. I burped. Sorry. Excuse me. Ekumi. Nine and 10. And 10. Okay. Set that there. We'll clean these bad boys up and we'll get them on the arm. This Gundam is huge, dude. Fucking huge. I don't know if my wife's watching. Babe, if you're watching, I love you. Thank you for putting up with all my bullshit. And thank you for being there for me beyond everything else and anyone else. You're the reason I'm still here. I think I want another one of these. I want to get another one. So I need you guys to, those of you who are kind of Gundam fans, go on my fucking Facebook and sign up to get tickets for the Zeta Gundam so I could give it away finally. So I'm trying to give that away so I can start clearing space for the big guys here. All right. Booyah. Shoulder. Let me do this guy next. I could have a whole row of just big Gundam. There's not a lot. There's only like 4 of them, I think. 5 of them, but the 5th one I don't think I'll ever be able to find because he was one of the first ones and he's super rare and he's super expensive and I'm not about to spend all that kind of money. But I'll get like maybe one more. I don't know. Maybe not. Wife will probably be like, hell to the no. Which I don't blame her. You know, I have enough stuff already. It's funny. I was telling one of the doctors, you know, she was not a doctor, one of the social workers when I was going through my procedure for placement on the, you know, for the surgery, you know, for qualifications and stuff. And they were going through the evaluations and just to make sure you're okay. And, you know, if you have a support system and whatnot and all this other stuff. And she was just like, you know, do you have hobbies? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she's like, well, are they hobbies that like the outdoor hobbies, indoor hobbies? I was like, yeah, they are. So she's like, so that's yes for both? I'm like, yeah, that's yes for both. And she was like, well, do you have stuff you can do in the house to keep you busy and keep your mind occupied and whatever? And I was like, yeah, I got enough hobbies to keep me busy I could probably not leave the house for a couple years with all, you know, with the exception of going to get materials like paints and shit. Like I could probably sit in the house and hide for like a couple years just working on my hobbies. I think it's a little sad, but fuck you, don't judge me. G8. Okay. G8. Okay, found one piece. Get this guy going. Hold up. Somebody's typing. I apologize, guys. I'm blind as fuck. And I gotta be able to read this shit. Yeah, the con's going to be tight, dude. Especially if we, like I said, if we can all get up there, it would be nice. You know, you're not off base, man. There are people who will commission you to build kits, build armies, build models like this, and paint them for them. I'm on a Gundam, like a buyers group, you know, like a U.S. buyers group for Gundams on Facebook, and there's dudes out there like fully painted Gundam, complete master grade. Show me what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like these cats are like, I don't want to do all the work. I just want the coolness. Show me what you got. You know, and I again, I think I said it in my video with the Gypsy House. You know, some people just don't have, you know, they don't have that in them. You know what I'm saying? That desire to build or that talent to do that. You know, so they look for outside resource, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Next piece here. Excuse me. I got burps. Oh yeah. Let's get the next one out. And I think I definitely, you know, I agree with you too. I would, dude, I would love to do that for a job. If someone would pay me to build their shit and paint it, that my whole workstation, my whole studio would be completely different. You know what I'm saying? My airbrush supplies would be top notch. You know, I'd be on the top of my game for that stuff. What's up, Gabe? That's my nephew, Gabe. We were just talking about you, bro. I just showed the guys from my group your car. A lot of them like Pennywise, brother. So don't get rid of it, fucker. Love you, man. But yeah, like I said, if I could do that, yeah, I definitely would. I'm actually, you know, and it sucks because like I do want to go back to work. Like I've been itching, you know what I mean? I like interaction with people. I like social groups. You know what I'm saying? I like doing that stuff, you know, and my job, the last job I had, allowed that a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't realize it when I was the first couple of years I was there, you know, but like throughout the time I was like, man, I really like being here. My my associates and my employees, they were like, for the most part, they were good people. I mean, we had slackers, we had people that were fucking off and stuff. And you know, I'm like a shark, man. If I smell that shit in the water, I'm gonna fucking go right to it. You know, so I would get these people and say, hey, look, you know, you got options. You know, you can either take write-ups and get fired, or you can get your shit together and toe the mark, you know, pull your line. And a lot of times, you know, surprisingly, there most of the time people were like, I got you, you know, and they get their shit together. You know what I'm saying? And another fun thing was like I like to tell a lot of people that would start, because I was training people a lot, you know what I'm saying? And I would tell people all the time, because you know, my job was pretty physical and it was tough for to deal with emotionally, you know. And people would be like, man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, listen, I'm blind and I do this job. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do it. You just got to want to do it, you know? And you'd be surprised at how fast that would turn people around. They're like, you're blind? Like, yeah, I'm legally blind, man. And I'm doing the job. So you can do it too. Just suck it up and get to work, you know, make it happen. Then there were those other people who got offended, like, whatever. And, you know, they didn't make it, you know, they didn't make it through training. And that was just that, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, that's how life is. But like I said, I love the job, so I can't wait to get back to work. But now, you know, I can't work anywhere where there's patients or there's people who are going to be sick, or the possibility of, you know, I mean, everybody can get sick, right? Like I can work somewhere, anybody can get sick, but in a hospital environment, the chances of people getting sick are extremely high. So my chances of getting sick are extremely high. So I have to minimize that risk, unfortunately. So I can't go back there unless I go into an office position or something else, which kind of sucks because, like I said, I like working with people. I love people. You know, there's so much to glean and learn from people in this day and age, you know, if we just stop and listen for a minute. What's up, Craig? Black and white rap. No, for why? Oh man, don't wrap it, dude. I mean, look, I seen if you're gonna wrap it, don't. I like wraps. I've seen some wraps that are fucking phenomenal, dude. I've seen some really cool wraps, but you're talking like fucking expensive wraps, right? Like super expensive. If you put Pennywise's face on the hood, and I'm just talking the eyes, the slashes of his eyes, and the smile and the nose, that would be baller on that Mustang. That shit would look dope. And I'm just throwing it out there. You know, I know it's your car. You're gonna do what you want, but that's my take. I wouldn't wrap the whole car though, because it just looks dope in white, bro. It's just a good looking car. Just my 2 cents, bro. But you know, I got that artistic bone. You really should get a paper sailboat and put it in the dash, bro. I think that would be funny too. People be tripping. Oh, it's going to be themed. Okay, my bad. My bad. Well, I mean, shit. Let's see it. Let's see what she looks like. Crit, I got halfway through the build yesterday, man. I didn't make it. I didn't make it to the 3 hours, bro. So I got to continue today. And Crit, I was talking for an hour and a half yesterday before I realized I wasn't even streaming. I was talking to myself in the room. I was like, what the? I actually was kind of upset. I was like, man, nobody's chiming in. Nobody's saying nothing. I felt sad. I was like, I'm just going to finish this stupid stream and not do it anymore. Then I realized, oh shit, I'm not even logged in. And I was like, what the? Messed up, bro. Messed up. Nah, you didn't miss too much. It's me throwing a hissy fit. All right. How's this piece going to go on here? I think that's it. Let's get it clicked in and fucker. There it goes. Wow, that's like really loose. There's a little shoulder. Brat brat. What? Did I take the wrong piece? Nope, didn't. Hold up. Okay. It's not clicking properly. What's going on here? Motherfucker. Get on there, you son of a bitch. No, that's not right. Let's see. Come on, fucker. In the same, yeah, it's in the same thing. All right. Well, fuck it then. There you go, shoulders. Let's put the shoulders on. Let's just do that. Fuck it. Doesn't say not to. Get on there, motherfucker. Whew. Feels like that'd be on the wrong way, but I guess not. Oh yeah, okay. This is really, really tight. Damn. Yeah, let's get this guy on. I'm gonna break this shit before I get it put together. There There we go. Yeah, some of this stuff is definitely going to be glued once I'm done. There he is. Oh, you guys can't see him. There's his little shoulders. I'm going to show you guys upside down because he's really, really big. Well, you know what? Hold up. Hold up. Let's see if we can do this right here. Booyah! There he is. Yeah, he's a little cockeyed. He's a little slanted. He's having a hissy fit. He's like, hey, y'all. Pretty big. Pretty big guy there. All right. Let's keep cranking away at these goddamn arms. See my magnifier? Because I'm blind. I don't know if I mentioned that already. But, you know, some people get taken aback by that. But whatevs. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Crip. Appreciate it. If you ever want to get one, send it over to me. I'll build it for you, paint it up, you know. All right, here we go. Let's build these arms. PC2. Excuse me. I burped again. Jesus, where's that coming from? Gross, guys, gross. Wow. Cinco. I love these pink pieces, man. Such a cool idea. I want to try something real quick. It says yeah, okay. You kind of gotta push it, but it kind of works. The little separating tool they give you in case you don't have any, you know, your broke ass ain't got no clippers. They give you this little tool to separate the plastic, but they also tell you on there, you know, on the box, you can actually just push these out. You don't need clippers at all. But I use them so that the nubs, you know, I get the nubs down because I hate these nubs. I hate it when like I'm playing 40K and I'm looking at people's models and I see them painted, but then you see all these little nubs from when they clip the model away from the sprue, and you're like, come on, you mother. Man, it's not their fault. They're just trying to get out there and play. No harm, no foul, I guess. It's like that little kid from The Incredibles. I don't know, something amazing, I guess. He was like, God. Had a little attitude for a little kid on the big wheel. And don't act like none of y'all ain't seen The Incredibles, because you know you have. So anyway, one time in band camp, JK, I never went to band camp. I didn't even know that shite existed. Booyah! Arm number one. Knock the second one out too right quick. Clean these up and get these out. So next, I think the next live one I'll do, either I'll continue painting the Gypsy house or do some building some 40K models. You guys can comment if you're interested in watching either of those. Let me know. And I'll do whichever one gets the highest vote, I guess. Gypsy model, Gypsy house, or 40K models. I could tell you could just hear the you can hear the disgust in Hate's voice every time he has to say I'm at work. It's like motherfuckers, stop asking. Leave me alone. We love you, bro. Like I said, I wish I was working too right now. G6. That's the part I need right now. G6. Like a G6. I know, corny. But you know what? It is what it is. Okay, let's get these cleaned. This one now. I think this is my favorite part of the Warhammer gaming community thing. It is, and just in general, it's just the building of the models. I love doing the builds, you know. Not as painting as much. I mean, I do like painting, and I do like the result of when I paint models, you know. To a degree, you know, everyone scrutinizes their own work, right? Like artists we're our own worst critics, right? So there's a lot of stuff that I do that I'm like, that could have been better. People look at it and go, oh man, it's awesome. But I look at it like, yeah, but it could have been way better. You know, I think this is a bicep. Yeah, I think this is the bicep. Huge bicep. Dude's got guns. But the hobby aspect, yeah, is definitely my favorite. G5, G15. You know, the playing, not so much. I used to love the playing, but you know, I got over competitive and heated, and I just didn't like what that brought out. So hold up. $15 and $5. Okay. Derp. I was like, that's the part they want? That don't make no sense. That's stupid. But it's not stupid. It's what they need. Boom. And number 5. Blah. Yeah, God, I want to go back to work. So I was saying, so basically now I got to find a job where I can obviously work, but I can't work around a lot of people, you know, so I'm going to have to take up some kind of management position again. And I really hated doing management just because of the dynamic. It changes the dynamic between you and your associates, especially like when you get promoted to management. Like I started off the last place as a patient transporter, you know, so I'd move patients from their rooms to the tests areas, you know, X-ray, CT, and all that stuff. And you know, I liked the job. It was a physical job. It kept me active, you know, and it kept me. I was able to, you know, socialize with people, you know, and for those 5 minutes or 20 minutes, because it's usually around that time to take somebody from one place to another, you know, they were with me and they were under my care. And, you know, I did my best to make these people feel comfortable because, you know, you're in the hospital, you're fucked, man. You're already in a bad situation. You know what I mean? You're already shitty. You know what I mean? And you don't need people treating you shitty. Right. So, and I would have patients, like I would get to a room and I could hear them screaming at the nurses before I even got there. You know what I'm saying? Like I could hear them fighting with people and the family and the nurses and all this other stuff. And I'd come up and the nurse is like, look, you got to be careful. This person's blah, 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 blah. She's flipping out, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, I got to take them. It's not like I can't, you know, unless they refuse, you know. So I'd get the patient. And by the time I got them to their test, they were smiling. We were joking. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a good, I went home tired as fuck, but I went home with a good feeling, like I accomplished, you know, I did something good, you know, even though I know it sounds silly. What's a PRTF, bro? I know it sounds silly, but you get a good feeling from a hard day's work. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. I don't know why. Okay. Vague ass instructions. Does that go here? Ooh, wait a minute. Does it go here? In here? Oh, of course. This. Yeah. Then where does this piece go? Gonna go here like this. Yeah, just like that. Do. All right. Now, let's do that for these too. Oh, do I work at a PRTF? No, I actually worked at, sorry, I didn't read that correctly. I apologize. I worked at Lutheran General as a hospital, major hospital in Park Ridge here in Illinois. It's a level 1 trauma center is what they consider it. So like we have helicopter pad for patients, you know, like direct from accidents, things like that, especially for children. Like they helicopter children in all the time. So I had to deal with, you know, taking kids from the roof to the, you know, wherever, ER and things like that. And mainly just patients to tests. But, you know, you had those occasional cases where you had to move patients from the ER to trauma centers, ICUs. And then you had the distinct privilege of taking patients to their final resting place once they passed, you know, because it happens a lot in the hospital. That was very hard for me initially. Like it was just a very difficult thing, you know. But you know, you get used to it. You know, you just know it's part of the job, and you have to deal with it. And as long as you're respectful, and you know, you respect that person as if they were your family, you're fine. You know, I had transporters quit because they found out that they had to transport patients to the morgue. And it's funny because in the interview process, they ask you that, like, are you okay around a dead body? And like when they asked me, I was kind of like, well, bitch, I grew up in Homer Park. Yeah, fucker, that's nothing, you know. But I didn't realize the gravity of it all. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't come to realize that until I actually had my first transport. You know, because the trainers were like, oh, you're okay around dead people? All right, bet money. We're gonna do like 6 morgues today, 6 morgue trips in one day. My trainer, he made me do 6 in my first day. I was tired as fuck, and like the first couple made me almost tear up, but you get used to it, you know, and you understand that that's just a process of nature, right? Like it has to happen, you know. Oh, you work with special needs? That's fucking awesome, dude. That's thumbs up, bro. That's hard work, man. That's hard work. Anything in the medical industry, in the medical field, man. Look, I've worked with nurses, doctors, you know what I'm saying, specialists, surgeons, like hands-on, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to be in there with these patients at times, you know. Um, and the level, you see people in the hallway and you're like, man, this nurse is a bitch. She's a blah, blah, blah. What you're not understanding is she's been on that shift for over 12 hours. She's got 9 different rooms that she has to attend to. So not just you know what I mean? She's got like 8 other people she's dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Now she's also dealing with doctors who are on her phone constantly in her ear. My patient needs this change in their prescription. And all it takes is, one of those people in that shift to get a change in prescription. Now she's got to contact the pharmacy. She's got to wait for the pharmacy to get approval from the doctor to get that medication. Then they get the approval. They get, they start making the medicine and then get it up to the nurse to get it to the patient. All this while she's still tending other patients. So I completely sympathize and understand what nurses, and NCTs, what they go through, man. It's, my God. When I was in the hospital, when I stayed, I was in there for quite a while, and every nurse I got, every NCT I got, I made it clear. I was like, listen, I worked at a hospital, because they're like, hit the button, call us if you need us, blah blah blah. They always tell you that, but then like halfway through their shift, especially overnight, they're tired. You know what I mean? They're running on empty, and they have less NCTs to help them. So I was basically like, look, I'm not gonna bother you unless I'm actually in pain, like serious pain, or I'm in serious need of something, like you're not going to hear from me. And they were like, well, no, it's okay. It's our job. And I'm like, I know your job. I worked with you. I worked hand in hand with you nurses. I've seen everything you are doing and capable of doing and what you are responsible for. So I'm going to make my stay as easy as possible for everybody, and I got my wife and I were laughing because at one point, one night, it was after surgery, and I was up in the room, like the care room where they start going through physical therapy and stuff like that. And one night the shift was changing, and I was waiting, because they about 7 o'clock, they changed to the evening shift, and I could hear some people arguing, because I have really good hearing because I'm blind, and I was hearing a bunch of nurses and techs outside my door. They were outside my door and they were arguing, and I was like, oh my God, and I thought, I was like, fuck, I must have said something to somebody or done something or been, like I must have been inappropriate or something. Something must have happened. But they were actually arguing about who was going to actually watch me that night because I didn't bother. I was like the least bothersome patient. So they were all like, well, you got him yesterday. You can't have him the second day. You got to switch it up. And I was like, are you serious? Are you guys seriously fucking arguing about who's going to help me wipe my butt? Like, that's ridiculous. But you treat them right and they treat you right, and that's the bottom line. Like, and I had to get needle sticks, I had to get blood pressure, I had to get stats drawn every like so many hours. So they were constantly in my room, but they made it as comfortable as possible for me, which was very cool. It's a forearm right there, so that's what that is. That's the forearm, not the shoulder. I stand corrected. And this little flippy thingy right here, I believe this is where, I don't know. I know that the unicorn has this baton that comes out and it does like a beam saber type thing. I don't know if that's what that is. Whatever it is, it's empty. It's like hollow right here. I don't like that. But I might fill that in with some plastic card. But let's see what's next. Yeah, especially with kids, man, Crit, I commend you, brother, because see, the thing was with adults, right? Now I was roomed next to a couple pain in the ass adults. This one guy just kept getting out of his fucking bed and he kept falling and he kept hurting himself more. And every time someone falls in the hospital that's unattended, the hospital gets penalized several thousands of dollars. Like it's a huge fine every time someone falls, right? Because it means that someone wasn't attending them. That doesn't necessarily mean that there was a nurse not paying attention or being negligent. It just means that guy, I know specifically this guy was being an asshole. He was not listening to what he was told to do. He got up, he kept falling. The lady next door to him, which was opposite of me, was screaming her ass off constantly. The thing with adults is, though, right, we make as adults conscious decisions unless we are incapable of controlling our actions, which in case they should be in special care for that. Like they should have room care if they can't control their actions, right? If they have schizophrenia, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like Alzheimer's, God forbid. But with children, they can't control that. That's the hard part, and that's why I say I commend you, brother, because you are dealing with kids that cannot control. They have no control over their actions in that sense. You know what I'm saying? And they don't do it out of hate. Like these kids aren't doing it like because they hate you and they want to see you hurt. They're doing it because they have no other way of expressing what's bothering them. You know what I'm saying? And that sucks, man. That sucks. Working in the hospital, man, yes, that's it. Seeing them go home. That's it. That's right. Absolutely, dude. Taking a patient to the discharge lobby was like the best, especially if I saw that patient throughout their stay. Like if I took care of them throughout their stay, it's the best. There's also the worst, the opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like I've taken care of patients. I had a patient 5 days straight. They requested me to take her to and from her tests because just, I guess, my patient care personality, and she passed away at the end of the week. I was taking her to chemo, so she was doing really good, and she passed away at the end of the week. And it killed, dude. It killed. I didn't even know her. Like I knew her name. I knew, I knew about her kids because she talked about her kids, and you know what I'm saying? Like the little, the small talk. But it kills, man. It kills when you see that. Like it's hard, but it's great when you see them go home. Like when they're on their way out, you're like, yes, don't come back. You're like, see ya. Like the best feeling. All right, I'm gonna keep rocking and rolling here for G3P7. I think that's this piece right here. Yep. 4 clip, and this can go in Zegarage. G3. I miss my job, and I know that sounds silly, but I've had tons of jobs in my life. I've done a lot of different jobs. What did they say? Jack of all trades, master of none. That was me. I've done private security. I've done professional security, commercial security. I've done construction, electrical maintenance. Carpentry. Done a ton of different things. But this is the one job I had that I gotta say, like, I was like, man, I loved everybody I worked with. I loved the type of job I had. And when they hired me, I found out after the fact. My boss told me, like years later, she was like, we almost didn't hire you. We were not going to hire you. And I was like, well, why? And they were like, because you just seemed really cocky. You seemed really arrogant. And I was like, really? Like, I was like, I came off as an arrogant guy, like, for real? I was like, wow. Because I had a lot of experience before I went back to this job. Like, I started work. I took off 5 years of work because I was taking care of my son. He was born, and I got laid off from my older job, and we didn't want to pay for daycare because he got real sick the first couple of weeks of daycare. So I wound up staying home with him to take care of him. And after 5 years, I decided, okay, well, as soon as he went to kindergarten, I was like, it's time to go back to work, right? Started looking for a job, and people were like, well, where you been 5 years? I'm like, well, taking care of my kid, and I guess just knowing all the jobs I've done, all the places I've been, I'm like, look, I have skills, I'm an asset if given the opportunity. And that was my take on it all. Like, you hire me, you're taking a risk, but you'll be well rewarded, and the one question my boss said that really turned her off about my arrogance, she said, was because they asked you the 5-year question, like, or 3-year question, like, what are you going to do in 3 years? What are you going to be doing here if you're here in 3 years? Like, well, what's your goal? And I said, well, if I'm here for that long, in 3 years, or in 5 years, it was actually the 5-year thing. I said, in 5 years, I should be in this office. I should be the manager of this department. Like, that's my goal. That's one of my goals. And she was like, well, that's a lot to do in that short amount of time. I was like, well, I'm like, not really. Not if I apply myself and I'm given the opportunity, right? Like, if you're given the opportunity, man, you should be able to shine. Like, nothing should stop you unless there's a ceiling. And that's why I said, if there's a ceiling here, I understand, and I'll look in a different department for something else, right? Like I don't like ceilings. You know, my ceiling should be my own. And I guess she thought that was an arrogant statement at the time. Like she thought that was cocky. And I became department manager in that department in 2 years. I worked my ass off. I proved that I was there on time when time was needed. I came in when there was extra work needed. You know, I started dispatching. I started training people. You know, I told them I'm ready for next levels. Like I'm not stopping. I'm hungry and I need, you know, I need to do this. And they, you know, they saw that. So they gave me the opportunity to be a manager and I took it, you know, and I did it in 2 years. And I was, you know, I actually had a meeting. We were at a company meeting and I met the owner, the CEO of GE Electric, you know, the electric company GE, and we were talking. And it's so weird because we were all talking, and my manager, the same one who told me, that's when she told me, she's like, "Man, I wasn't going to hire you. Like I almost did not hire you because of your arrogance." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Wow." And she's like, "But here you are, 2 years later." 2 years. She was like, "No one's done that ever." And I was like, "Well, hello there." I was like, "I did." And I was like, you know, the only thing that slowed me down, man, was I got sick. You know, I got really, really sick and I couldn't keep up. You know, I couldn't keep up the work, you know, and it killed me. It literally killed me to have to step down from management position because it was just like I worked so hard to get there and so long, you know, in my opinion. And it just didn't work out, you know, it sucked. I mean, but that's how it is, right? Life goes like that, you know. Yeah, that's why I always tell people, man, you're only limited by what you choose, what your ceiling is. You know, if you choose that this is where your ceiling is, then that's where you'll be, and you can't blame anybody. You can't hate on anybody. You can't be mad. That's where you at because you chose to be there. You know, unless you're going into a place that has a ceiling and you're not told, you know, like, okay, you can only ever be assistant supervisor, you know, like that's all you can ever be. All right, well, then, you know, making that choice by taking that job. All right, this is the best I can do here. I'm okay with that. You know, you have to be okay with that lot. You know, if you're not, then you need to set your sights higher. You need to shoot higher. And it's not, you know, not a shoot for the stars type thing, but just don't settle. And I worked with people who have been there. I worked with a lady who had been transporting since 1967 in that hospital. She was the highest paid transporter in that whole department. Nobody really knew it. I mean, I knew it once I saw the pay stubs and everything, like, you know, as manager. And I was like, holy shit balls. Like, this bitch makes this much money? You know, and I'm not hating on her, but I was like, how do you go through this many years, that many decades doing this job only? That's it. That's all she ever aspired to be. And I was like, well, that's, you know, there you are, wherever you are. All right, so let's keep rocking and rolling. Yeah. Here we go. I like the satisfying click. You know, when you when you get the piece in there and it clicks. There it is. That's this form. It's gonna go right here. Get the other side done. Oh, there it goes. Nice solid click. Yeah. Love it. All right. G14 and G11. Beam saber time. Yeah, buddy. AKA lightsaber. And yes, they did steal the idea because Star Wars came out first, unfortunately. Here we go. But I don't hate. It's still cool. They still use them. And they explain it pretty well. So I don't hate. George Lucas ain't got the exclusive rights to a light sword. Not anymore. All right, all right. Let's get these things skinned up. Oh, there's a second set, so I'll be doing like 4 lightsabers. Damn, unicorn. You got it like that? We'll clean them up. Oh yeah, he did have some in the forearms. Yeah. So I started watching this show. Like I said, I watched 0079. And then I watched them in numeric order. I don't really know what order. I didn't know at the time what order they were supposed to go in because Wiki wasn't around, and you basically had whatever you found and you watched it. You know what I'm saying? And you just try to piece the stories together. Because in the UC series, the Universal Century series, all those stories are linked. Like they're all part of one long story. Beam sabers. So I watched that. Then I watched I said 0080, which is War in the Pocket. And then I watched 0083, which was Stardust Memories, which was a really good one. It's like the Top Gun of Gundam movies. Yeah, see, it goes right in there. So it comes out. Zoop, zoop. Oh, I'm going to glue that shit. Not yet, though. We got to paint them first. So later for you beam sabers. We'll do the other two. Might as well just do them now. But then, yeah, I started watching them, and I stopped for a while because I just got to that age where I was partying a lot, and I was going out, I was doing a lot of things, getting all the crap out of my system, and I had taken a trip to Arizona to take my nephews because my sister was moving out there. So I took my nephews on a Greyhound bus. We went on a trip to AZ, and I stayed out there for a little bit, with them, with my mom, because my mom moved out there. I just want to kind of stick around, help them get settled, and then go back home. And I had gotten a part-time job while I was out there because I got to work, right? And I wanted to buy stuff and have money and whatever. And I was bored. I was at home, bored after work one day, and I don't know, Cartoon Network was on or something. I think my nephews were watching Cartoon Network, and Gundam Wing came on, and I was like, what is this shit? You know what I mean? It didn't look like the UC series, but it looked cool. You know what I mean? Like, it was a cool looking series. Death Sith Gundam, he looked pretty cool. I was like, all right, let me check this show out. So I liked the show. It was a pretty cool show. I knew it was, I had found out that it wasn't part of the UC series, so I was like, all right, well, a little bit disappointing, but whatever, it is what it is. And I started collecting the smaller kits of the Gundam Wings because there was a store nearby that had them. So naturally, you go, you find a store that you like, you wind up spending all your fucking money there. They didn't have any gaming stores in the area at the time. It was like I had to go to Phoenix if I wanted to go to like a actual gaming store, with books and games and all that other stuff. So yeah, like I said, I pretty much was reserved to Gundam, watching Gundam, and then that kicked me off to get back into the series and start watching more and seeing the rest of them, to see what were they all about, and stuff like that. He's got the swords on his back right now. I'll just put those up there for now, unless they tell me something else. But yeah, that got me back into the regular, trying to find as many of the Gundam series as I can. And then with YouTube coming out and just really like blowing up, and not really YouTube even, like, but the network connection, like people started connecting more, and we had more anime coming in. And, you know, I think G Fighter Gundam came out on Cartoon Network, and I had books for G Fighter Gundam, like model books where they, you know, they feature the model kits and stuff, and it was pretty cool. So like I said, I've always stayed in contact with it. CTV. Your dad's family lives in AZ, bro? Where at? We're about in AZ. Finish it tomorrow. You're killing me, Smalls. Yeah, I have cousins in Tempe and Mesa. Probably gonna go out there next year. As soon as I'm gonna travel, we're gonna take a trip out there because I want to take my son to see the Grand Canyon. So we're gonna drive out to Mesa and visit my fams. C6, C7, and P1. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never got a chance to get up to like Flagstaff, or, you know, we did go to Tucson. Visited a couple places while we were out there. It's cool, man. I mean, here's the deal with Arizona, man. Here's my only deal with Arizona. I can't deal with the sun. It's just too fucking hot. You know, I'm an albino, so, you know, as soon as Shining Gundam, yep, that's right. As soon as I get out in that sun, man, I burn up like a fucking lobster. Like, you know, like Mortal Kombat when Scorpion, he flamethrowers the guys, and they're like, Toasty. That's me right outside the sun. Explode, spontaneously combust. And it's even worse now because of the medications I'm on. They're like, oh yeah, you can get skin cancer tomorrow. I'm like, what? No, thank you. And they were like, you need to stay away from the sun. I'm like, yeah, I know how to do that. And they're like, no, we really mean it. I'm like, bitch, I've been hiding from the sun since I was born, motherfucker. I know what you mean. You know what I'm saying? So it sucks, but I love Arizona. It's beautiful. The weather is fucking dry, so it's not all nasty. And, you know, the sun, man, it just kills me. But the desert is beautiful. Sunsets are beautiful there. I mean, you got to be some kind of special to not appreciate it, you know? My wife loves it. She went out there with me for a little bit. And she liked it a lot, but is that how that's supposed to go? Yup. That's one. And we'll get the next one. Scottsdale, yeah, that's another one I haven't gotten to, man. I'm gonna go up there, dude. And like Flagstaff and Scottsdale, don't they get snow? Like they actually get the weather up there. Everywhere else in Arizona is like, ooh, it's hot. You take a trip up to Flagstaff so we can get some cold. But yeah, I haven't been up to those spots, man. But Phoenix, I went through Phoenix. I didn't really care for it. And I know this sounds really bad, but I found it to be like a dirty city. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, like they just didn't care about the garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was hot. Like, damn. I don't know. Maybe it's just part of Phoenix I went through. I'm not gonna shit talk because I don't know, but I mean Chicago is pretty, you know, pretty crappy too, depending on where you go. So we're not special, you know. But I do like it here only because I have access to anything I want. Like if there's something I want in the city, I know where it is and I know where to go get it. And I know that it's there. You know what I'm saying? If there's something I want that I can't get, I can order it. and the postage here is like, it's good. We have a good, I don't know, like I know that sounds weird, but we have a good postal service here. I do definitely think I would like to move somewhere else. I was actually thinking Tennessee or even Kentucky. Like one of the two. Like get out of here, get out of the city. But who knows? Who knows? Okay, G1, PC5. Mm-hmm. G1, G2. G1, G2. So yeah, I don't know, but I'm stuck here until I am medically cleared, and I find if I do go somewhere, I have to be somewhere where I can get medical attention. The attention I need. Because I special. Um, but yeah, I mean, and plus, like obviously we're comfortable here, family's comfortable with us being here and stuff like that, and you get that level of comfort. So what we might do, what Zero might start doing is once the year's up, start planning trips overseas. I want to go to Japan, and I want to go to Ireland. My wife wants to go to Ireland. We might even go back to Puerto Rico and take my son to go see Puerto Rico. We took my daughter, so we were thinking, yeah, we got to take him to at least see it, see where he comes from. And there's other places, that I'd like to go. I'd like to go to London, um, just to get just to see it, PC5, PC5. That. Got it. It almost fell, but I got it. Going off the rail. That's not good. Like that? Maybe. Let's see. Gotta figure out this arm socket here. Oh, guys. This project, man. Project Gundam. How long have I been here? Hour and a half. You guys are troopers sticking with me. I appreciate it. Watching Zero build a Gundam. It's not the most exciting thing. Hydrate. Let's get this piece together. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Found it. Got it. Booyah. Clickety clack. Clickety clack. That's it? Really? That's how it's going to go? No, that's not how it's going to go. That's how it's going to go. Clickety clack. All right, my dude. Let's get your arm on. You silly bastard. No. Come here. Why is he all lean back? Ah, there you go. Gotta wait for that click. His arms look short. Little gimpy arms. This guy's a T-Rex, guys. Everybody feared the T-Rex. Almost there. Almost there. There's some Spanish music right now on the Gundam theme song track list. So it must be Barbados or Gundam. What the hell is it called? Iron-Blooded Orphan. I have to watch that still. Yeah, that's most definitely Iron-Blooded Orphan. Cinco. Clickety clack. How it goes. Yeah. That's it. All right. Come here, you big bastard. You big white bastard. There you go. Cook that shit in there. Clickety clack. Love it. Hey, stand up, fucker. There you go. Stand up like you got a pair. There you go. Silly rabbit. No, I haven't, fucker. This is not the longest it's taken to a. Shut up! It's big. Leave it alone. Leave me alone. You know you're not right, right? Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it right, man. You know what I'm saying, man? We're getting to the hands, guys. Lávates los manos. Lávates los manos. I'm trying, man. I'm trying to go fast. You believe it or not, if I wouldn't even be going this fast if I wasn't broadcasting live, because I would be taking my sweet ass time. I would be using my emery board on everything, rebuffing out the plastic so I don't damage it. And you guys would be like, "What the is wrong with this guy?" But like they say in construction, do something right, or do it once, do it right. And this is my famous drywall story when I tell people to do shit the right way, measure twice, cut once type shit. You know, I was working in construction, and my boss, we're on a deadline like every other freaking construction job. You know, you're always on a timeline, you're always on a deadline. It's just the way the nature of the job, right? People don't want you in their house forever, you know. And I had to do a wall. I had to put up a wall in this one room that we tore the wall down from because we had to clear out all the shit from inside the wall. The insulation got all moldy and nasty. So anyway, we cleared it out, reframed, and he's like, "All right, put the drywall up." You know, because we had a lift, so I was able to do it. I was able to do it by myself. I didn't need another guy to hold it and whatever. You know, and I knew how it was supposed to be done, but I was young, and you know, he's like, "All right, when you put it up, since you're doing it by yourself, do it like this. Do this first, then this, then this, then this." He gave me the steps. He showed me everything I needed to do, and I was like, "All right." I was like, "But I don't need to do that if I do this." He was like, "Listen to me. Don't think. Just do what I tell you to do, and do it right the first time." And I was like, all right, whatever. So he went out. I hung the drywall. I hung it my way. You know, I skipped a step because I was like, I don't need to do that step. It's just dumb, you know. When he got back, he's like, "All right, did you do what I tell you to do?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "No, you didn't." And I was like, "Yes, I did." He's like, "Look, you're lying to me, and I understand why, but I'm going to show you how I know you didn't do it right." And he pointed out all the things that I did wrong, like instantaneously, like immediately. The dude he knew. I mean, the dude had been doing this for like fucking years, so he knew I fucked up, and he knew that I didn't listen. And he was like, "Now, take this shit down and do it all over again the way I fucking told you to do it." So I wound up doing drywall. I wound up hanging drywall twice. Now I stayed late. I wound up staying late because he was like, "Yo, my job's done. I'm done. I'm out. Deuces. See you later." You know. So he went home about 3:30. I went home about 8:45. You know, because I wasn't listening. You know, but that taught me right then and there. I was like, well, measure twice, cut once, and do it the way it's supposed to be done. Do it right the first time. You don't have to repeat yourself, you know, and that's it. Even if you got to take a little longer, just do it right. If you do it fast, you make mistakes. You got to do it all over again. But yeah, I am going. I probably do hold the record for the slowest Gundam build ever. Shut up, man. You don't know my life. I'm going to celebrate tonight. Celebrate building a fucking Gundam. What do you guys think? Should I do a separate video after this? After he's done? Like kind of like a reveal video? I know it sounds cheesy, but should I? Will it matter? Bah! Hear that? Hear that clickety clack? That's awesome. Bah! Love it. Ooh, didn't skin this one first though. Damn it. See? Do it first. Do it right. This is his punchy glove. I think we're going to put that. Is it this punchy glove or is it the? Yeah, I think it's this punchy glove. We're gonna put that around here. There we go. Now he's looking cool. Got his hands. He's gonna throw these hands. Who's trying to catch hot Gundam hands? Hmm? No. No. I won't do another build on this guy. he's done. Well, what I will do is I will later on, once the weather gets way better. Oh, I gotta push his waist down a little more. Once the weather gets way better, I will strip him down, and then I will paint him. You know, I like that they come in painted colors, but I would really like to see him fully. You know, or maybe I'll just do panel lines. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking about it. I don't really want to put that much effort into this kit. I know it sounds silly, but this one, no. If I got a perfect grade, then yeah, I would definitely. I'd put my heart, soul, and blood into that shit. Because they're so expensive. You know what I mean? Those are like complete show kits. You know, I can take it apart, show you guys the inner frames and shit like that, and it can do karate poses and stuff. This guy can move a little bit, but he can't do karate poses. He didn't take karate. It's just a Gundam, guys. Jeez. But yeah, I do have my eyes on one perfect grade, but we're talking like LEDs and all kinds of stuff, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'm at that level yet of gunpla skill. But I was thinking about putting a video up of just the finished product, something I can kind of showcase, say, hey, look, he's done for now. You guys think I should do it? I'll go on ahead and throw one up. Throw it up! For those who are going to bypass this video later, or who didn't see me do this, they'll probably bypass it just because of the length of the video. Well, especially, like, none of my friends are going to watch this shit. Like, they'd be like, yeah, no, an hour and something, that's too long, John. Yeah, sure is. So, yeah. Oh, that's cool. So these hands, these are the holdy hands, okay? These little guys right here. So what you do is you take the weapon, you put it in the peg that's there. There's a little peg, okay? And then you close the other half onto the weapon, so this will hold it like way better. That's cool. Interesting. Because before they used to just have the G.I. Joe hand where it's like a little hole. You know, he's like this, but then it looks like that the whole time, and it doesn't really hold the weapons very well. So this one, he's at least got the trigger finger locked and loaded. So I'll put those together once I get his weapons together. Let's see what step that's going to be. I'm not sure. I'll put this hand together because stuff. It's going to look like that. So it's got a little trigger finger. But like I said, this whole kit is a snap tight kit. So it's basically just pops together, pops right off. So that's kind of nice. You know, it's a nice thing to be able to like just take it apart really quick and not have to, not worry about glue and all that other shite. Sabers. All right. Now it's time for the head. This bad boy right here. And you know what? I might not finish today. You're right. Okay. There. I said it. Leave me alone. The perfect grades. You know what? They're not generally made of metal. We are friends, Craig. We are totally friends. And you are watching. And dude, thumbs up for that. I can't wait till you start live streaming, bro, so I could like get on your shit and be like, what up, player? And you have to explain to your other friends who I am. Like, oh, that's this guy I know. Just wait. Most of the perfect grades are not primarily metal. They do have screws and things like that. There are some that do have metal parts for their frames, and there's a lot of companies that make, well, not a lot of companies, but Bandai puts out a lot of parts for perfect. Like I can actually buy for this kit specifically, I can actually buy like brass metalworks. You know, I don't know if you guys know what that is, like etched brass. So it's like a thin sheet of brass with etchings on it, so you can take these little plates out and fill in certain areas to give it that metal look, you know, to give it whatever detail that they didn't put in the actual plastic kit. So some perfect grades have that type of stuff, but no, there's not a lot of metal ones. But a majority of them may have metal parts, like the waist or the frame of the parts of the legs, you know, to so that reinforces the stability of them. And that's why like there's perfect grades that could literally stand on one leg with, you know, like a crane kick, you know what I'm saying, or like doing a kick pose with one leg, and they're that sturdy, you know. Like this guy, he doesn't have a frame, like an internal frame, so if I put him, he's gonna fall over, you know what I mean? He doesn't have the balance. But you can actually thank Shining Gundam for that, the G Fighter series, because that's the first perfect grade that came out. They call it the G frame. It's the first Gundam kit to come out with a full-on, fully articulated, balanced internal frame. So you could do kung fu poses with him, and you know he would stay up on one foot and stuff like that. It was really cool. I was just not a big fan of G Fighter. Not the biggest fan. I should say. But it was good. It was cool. I didn't mind G Fighter. I just didn't like the fighters that he fought. It was kind of silly. Where? Oh, there it is. So we're going to the head now. Step 30. Bam. This is interesting. I will need to apply foil stickers on certain parts, but I have a secret. I will not be applying foil. I will be using chrome marker instead, because it's better. Don't judge me. I know what I'm doing sometimes. Maybe not. We'll see. But this is the part of the head that has like a clear green plastic so that light refracts through it and looks like the eyes are lit up and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And the camera lenses are lit up more than they are. And there's a ton of kits that actually have, like I said, there's kits that come with LED sets. Like there's a perfect grade of this kit that has an entire LED set to light up all these pink parts here, and it'll light them all up. It's pretty cool. You know what? I might actually, for the sake of speed, I might use these damn stickers. I don't want to sit here. Paint's going to take too long to dry. Let's see this here. Boom. Done. Yeah, I guess I'll just use the stickers. I guess. Now. Where is it? Read my instructions because I'm. only beef with these stickers is that if they don't go on right, they don't go on right. You know what I'm saying? And then they're crooked, and then it's ugly. And the instructions are not the clearest as to where these go. I think I got it. Any perfect grades? This guy, believe it or not, as big as that fucking thing is, only went for like $105 because it's technically like a high grade. It's not that good. It's just this big shell standing there looking cool. Perfect grades start. I think the cheapest one you can get is the Strike Gundam, and he is right around the 200 mark. So like 180, 190. That's the cheapest one you can get so far. All the others are above 200. There are some in the 300s, and then there's maybe one in the 400. Okay, if you buy the perfect grade of this guy, he is about almost $300, and then you're going to pay another almost $80 for the LED unit to light the whole thing up. Same thing with the Exia. He's the same way. He's like $200, which is a good price, but his LED unit is about $80 as well. You know, so you're spending another, you know, you're in the 300 plus for those guys. You know, again, that's partly the reason too. I actually don't have one yet. I just could not. I was like, damn, you know, what the fuck? You know, I can't afford that shit. You know what I mean? There we go. I'm gonna clean this one little piece of plastic off. I forgot to do it. There we go. That's why you should always clean your nubs. Clean your nubs, guys. There's his little head and his eyes. And I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it looks when the light goes through it. Either way, it is what it is. Ugh, another sticker on, you fuckers. He's got a little tiny Robin mask. Little tiny, like a little bandit mask. I gotta put this shit on. Oh my god. Fucker. Wait a minute. You gotta be precise with these stickers too. It's they go on messed up, they go on, they stay messed up. You know what I mean? Like that's just ugh. I got them on. Kind of overlaps too, so it gives it a nice little frame. There you go. Hey, it's got a little Batman mask or Robin mask on. All right, we're just gonna go with that. H7. Hmm. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Where are you? Part H7. Fucker. Not cool, man. Haha, found you. You thought you could hide. Thought you was gonna get away from Zero? Not today, Satan. Yeah, money-wise, I think perfect grade would be cool, but just the price is just kind of I said the same thing when I said, "Wow, holy shit balls, Batman." But okay, it's all relevant, right? Like, how do I put this? Like a Warlord Titan from Warhammer 40K, which is about the same size as this, just resin, and it's used in a game, so it's a gaming piece. So in 40K, in Games Workshop, when they charge you something for something, they're not charging you for the plastic you're buying or the amount of plastic you're buying. They're charging you for the value of the unit you're paying for, right? So if it's a giant Titan, they're going to charge you a lot because they know it does a lot in the game, right? A Titan out of the store will cost you $1,500 with just a set of weapons, just one set of weapons, like one gun arm and one gun arm, or one punchy arm and one gun arm, whatever. And then the weapons that go on top of it, because it has the torso, the back mounted weapons. $1,500 for a Warlord Titan, or like $1,100 for a Reaver, which is a little smaller, or $800 or $900 for a Warhound, which is even smaller Titan. So it's all relevant, right? Like, I mean, if you're into this type of hobby, you have to know going in it, like, okay, well, I'm either going to just spend a shit ton of money on this one thing, or I'm going to spread it out. Like if you're like me, I got a bunch of different hobbies. Like there's RC projects I want, right? Like I want to buy this certain RC car, but in the price range that it sits, it's not justifiable for me, right? Like I can't, I'm not going to spend that much money on a car that I won't use that much. And I mean, I like using them, I like running them, but I know I won't play with it as much as I could. So to me, it's like, do I buy the most expensive, coolest one? Or do I just settle for one of the ones I like that gives me the same results? You know what I'm saying? Like, does that make any sense? If that makes any sense, I don't know. Might not. Might be talking out my ass. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that's rough, dude. Like, I'm not saying you should be with somebody based on politics, right? Like, but it definitely makes it more, if you guys at least have a same approach to politics. Okay, if you guys can have a conversation about it, then you're in good standings, right? Like, it doesn't matter whether you're Democrat or Republican. If you can have a conversation, you're doing good. You're actually in the plus side, right? If you guys can't even have a conversation about it, those things, that border, that wall, that boundary will pour into other things. That mentality of, we're just not going to talk about it. Fuck it. You're wrong and I'm wrong, or I'm right, you're wrong, whatever. We're not going to talk about it. That mentality will pour into other things, like the spending. Like if someone's overspending and like, hey, we need to talk about this. You're spending too much money. I'm not going to talk about that because that's just, I work and I whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like those types of debates or argument policies will pour into the rest of your relationship. And that sucks. I'm not saying dumper. I'm not. If you guys love each other, then you fight for what you want to keep, right? That's just the way it is. That's how relationships work, and they're tough. They're hard to work on. But politically, I mean, I know I have friends that are politically opposed, and it's just, when it comes to politics, even with my friends, I do not discuss it. I don't discuss it on my channel. I do my best not to discuss it. Let me reframe, because people are going to want to talk about it either way, whether I want to or not. I just have to know when it's time to dismiss myself from the conversation, right? Like I have to say, you know what? I'm either not informed enough to make that choice or call, or I don't want to get into that long of a debate or discussion about who's right or wrong, what side's doing what. You know what I'm saying? So I bow out of politics. Same thing with religious debates. I bow out of that stuff because, like, look, I'm not going to tell you you're fucking wrong for believing what you believe in, and I'm not going to sit here and let you tell me I'm wrong for believing what I believe in. That's just not going to happen. So let's just let it go, agree to disagree, and, you know, go our separate ways with that. We can still be friends, just, you know, even though we have opposing views on religion and politics. Religion is a little trickier because, you know, that's your faith. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard when your faith is in question. You know, especially if it's someone who is just not willing to listen. Like I said, when you're at a standstill and you're just not willing to listen, that's hard, man. That's a hard fucking situation to be in. Compromise is the most important thing in a relationship. I think, like, that's the best tool you guys will ever have in your closet or in your corner or whatever is compromise. Like the ability to say, all right, look, I don't need that much. And for them to say, well, maybe not nothing, but here's some. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you guys are both capable of doing that, like I said, you're in a good place. If you're not, time to reevaluate the situation. Like, having good debate is good, but fuck, man, if they're constantly fighting, what's the point? That's the relationship, according to Dane Cook. There's perks and cons to everything, though, right? Like, my wife and I don't agree on everything, you know. We do have a lot of the same views in politics, you know, but even though we don't discuss it, because there are certain things she's opposed to and there's certain things I'm opposed to. So we just don't argue about politics. We don't fight about it. You know what I mean? We go do our voting and we're happy with that and we leave it at that, you know. But we don't fight about it. You know, that's definitely for sure. Because there's just, for me, it's like, man, we got way more shit to fight about. Like, we don't need to fight about politics too. You know, like, we're good. We don't need to fight that. I don't know. Maybe that sounds silly, but I don't know. I feel like that's, for us, that's not necessary. Yeah, exactly. Walking on eggshells, dude. You know, it's funny. You know, it's funny. I did the same thing. It's funny. Dane Cook said it. It's like, when you're in that kind of relationship, it's like you're like gunfighters circling each other all the time. You know, you got that itchy trigger finger. You know, you're just waiting to pop off. You're waiting for her to say some shit. You to be, oh yeah, well, you know, boom, 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 boom. You're shooting your guns, and then, you know, at the end, she ninjas your brain. You know, she does some shit, and and you go away thinking you won the argument until you realize what she said, and you're like, oh, that's fucked up. But yeah. As far as Warhammer, dude, I played Warhammer before. I didn't like Warhammer Fantasy. I actually didn't like it at all. I bought a big ass army and got my ass handed to me constantly, and I just didn't like the whole regiment shit. It's just boring as fuck. And it was like, oh, well, that's how it was done in the old days. Yeah, well, that's why they got their asses kicked eventually, you know, by people who didn't do that. But I do love the Warhammer miniatures of now, like the newer sculpts. Games Workshop has really upped their game with their artists. Like, they used to have great artists, and you would see these great pieces of art, these concept art for their models and stuff. But then when you got the model, you were like, who the fuck, who did this? Like, what happened? The artist handed it over to their kid and let them use some putty, and there you go. Like, and I don't mean to be mean, because it's the technology they had at the time, but it was like, come on, man, what the fuck happened? You know? So in the now, they're with the 3D sculpting and all that stuff, and some people are like, oh, it takes away from the artist. No, it doesn't. It gives the artist more volume and more palettes to work with, and we get a better product in the end because of it. And I think that's what I like. And I love the new Warhammer figures. Like I these banshees, these wraiths, where's the banshees? Banshees are my favorite. These chicks here are they're just so fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like that's just a cool ass model. Like we couldn't have that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And these guys, these grave wraith, whatever the fuck they're called. I don't know what they're called, but they're creepy looking, but they look cool. You know what I mean? And I definitely want to use them in D&D. So I have a bunch of Warhammer models, and it's like you said, if you get enough of the same army, you can dip your toe into the game, because now the way the game is set up, you don't need 100 guys to play a game of Warhammer. You can actually play with about 5 or 6 guys. You can play a skirmish game just to cut your teeth on it, and it's all skirmish based now. It's no longer big blocks of regiments. It's like just individual dudes. It's like Warhammer 40K. It's the same rule system. You're just dealing more with close combat than you are with range combat. So it lends itself to that, and I think it's cool. It's definitely a cool thing. So I feel you, brother. Like I said, I picked up the starting set, like the big box set that they come out with every once in a while. Warhammer Age of Sigmar, the first edition. I bought the box set and came with 2 little armies. And honestly, I was totally, at that point, I was content. I was like, I could play this game. I don't need to go any further. Now, I do like big models and I do like big monsters. So I always wind up getting big ass models. But I got the game because I like the new army, the Sigmar guys, the gold guys. They're oh fuck are they? Stormcast Eternals. I like the armor. I really like, and I was like, man, that would be a perfect fucking. Those are like badass clerics or paladins. You know what I'm saying? Like they just look like that kind of character. And I was like, man, a whole like unit of paladins coming after the group, that would be pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? It'd be pretty fucking scary too. But you're not off the beaten path there, my friend. And like the Chaos guys, they all look like barbarians and marauders, and evil warriors. So why not? You might as well use them for that. When it comes to your players, they're going to be enthralled either way. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're telling a good story and you're doing it right, they're going to be excited either way. Another sticker on, and it's I hate these stickers. But whatever, it is what it is. Just like that. Booyah. Cool. But yeah, there's a bunch of Warhammer models that I've come through that I just like. This is perfect for Dungeons and Dragons. I can't wait to use it. I bought a resin recast of a model, and then I wound up selling it because I didn't like the way the recast came out, and I bought it cheap. But I actually liked the model, so I might just go ahead and buy the Games Workshop model. It's basically an orc on top of a wyvern, but it's called a maw crusher, and it just looks like, oh my god, it's so brutal looking. And it's basically in D&D it would be a wyvern, but it's just such a brutal looking wyvern. It's not all skinny and emancipated, and it's bulky, and it's like lumbering on the ground. It's not up in the air flying. It's just lumbering on its knuckles, and it just looks like brutal. And I want to use it in a game, like I want to throw it at my party and deal with that. Even if it's a wyvern and its stats are shitty, the sheer fact of the matter is you dropping a model like that onto the table, they're just going to lose it. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, holy shit balls. B1 and A1, okay. Where's B? B. Is B? I think it might be. Bra. All right. So we're still going, guys. It will be ending soon. I'm gonna be doing other stuff. You know what? I gotta go grab something real quick, guys. I apologize. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go take care of some laundry real quick. Do that here for you guys to see the cool Gundam head. I will be right back. 1 second. All right. I'm back. I hope I didn't lose anybody. And if I did, my bad. Yep, that's exactly it. Like the skeletons, zombies, those are all quintessential fantasy characters, like orcs. You know, depending on if you're okay with the way the orcs look. But yeah, those are all quintessential things, man. So why not? You know, there, like I said, there's some cool models out now that you could actually, as a GM, you know, uh, if you read your monster manual, you know, I don't know about fifth. I haven't read the fifth monster manual yet, and I'm not gonna preach about it. But if you've read your monster manual, like 3.5, there were enough rules in that system to create any monster you wanted. You know, especially if there was something based on an existing, you know, like an existing monster, right? Like all you had to do is tweak or give special rules or take special rules away just to kind of give it more balance, right? And monsters are pretty freaking weak against the players anyway, so it's not like giving them an advantage is going to kill, you know, outright kill the players unless you're that kind of GM. You know, you can't control yourself. Um, but yeah, if you look at that line and you're like, man, that would make a cool encounter, get it. I mean, I bought models from all kinds of. I bought models from Malifaux, that miniature game Malifaux, and I was like, man, these guys look really cool in the pictures. I was like, I could use that for my Chilton adventure, you know, shit like that. And I got the models, and I was like, God, these are garbage. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like the models. I didn't like the way they were put together. I didn't like any of it. But you know, it still would make for a perfect, you know, D&D encounter. You know what I'm saying? Like they would make a good D&D encounter. I just have to tweak rules for lizard men or tweak rules for bullywugs or things like that. You know, quattle. I could tweak the rules for them just to make them, you know, more what do you call it? D&D friendly. And I don't think that piece is right. I don't know why. Oh, it might be. All right. You don't know? Consult the box and hydrate. Always hydrate. Broom, broom, broom. A9. Get the back of his dome covered up. But yeah, I feel you, bro. Like I said, you know, anything to give the players a good encounter, I'm down for it. I have an interesting idea about mapping for D&D. If you don't want to buy maps, or if you want bigger, if you're like me, right, and you do certain encounters like harpies and dragons and anything that can fly, you know that the maps that are provided are fucking tiny, right? So even the Chessex map, which is like almost 3 feet by almost like 2.5 feet or something like that, is small when it comes to flying models. Like flying monsters, just they don't do well. Hold on one sec. You can. All right, Crit. That's what's up, man. There you go. Get in it. Start streaming, brother. The Tomb King's Army, the Cabinet of Souls, and the Tomb Kings. Suffocus. Yes, those are beautiful models, dude. Beautiful models. They're really hard to find right now because the Tomb Kings were discontinued. They are bringing them back, you know, but in a different way. So be patient, and they will re-release those things. I don't know exactly when, so don't quote me on that. Wait a minute. Oh no! No, I snapped his antenna. Ooh, you suck. Oh, I gotta glue you in, bitch. Ah, you fucking piece. Cocksucker. There's no snap. Why are you not going in place? Motherfucker. You made me snap your damn head. God damn it. That's all right. Fix it with some glue. There we go. Now you're in, you fucker. Oh, you suck. We're going to fix that shits right up, though. When I go to paint it, I'm going to fix it. Punk ass bitch. That's all right. We're going to fix it. Son of a bitch. Where's this? Has he got his front piece on? No, he does not. Where's his front piece? Oh, whoops. Supposed to put that on piece first. God damn it. Being hasty. That's all right. I gotta take this damn piece off anyway now. Maybe I can pin it. Oh. You gotta come up. Okay. Damn, Jackie. There we go. I was curious. Maybe not. Hold up. Yeah, because the fin has to go on after. Son of a bitch. That's okay. We're gonna glue that bitch in. There we go. There's our Gundam head missing missing one fin. Damn it! Never get the orientation of this camera right. Here, you guys can see that there. Focus. Focus. No. No focus. Damn, really? Well, he looks really cool with the one fin. Trust me. Put that on there. There he goes. Oh, it's frustrating. All right, the last thing to do is the weapons, and I believe I am going to do that off screen. I'll do that mañana. That way, I can do a reveal video, and it'll give me time to fix the antenna. Yeah, get in there. Get in there, motherfucker. All right, here we are. So just the gun and the shield, and he's done. I'll show you guys. The one, he's definitely a unicorn now, that's for sure, fucker. Get him in the whole shot? Barely. Big ass fucker. So he's pretty big. He has the extra set of hands, and then we'll put in the saber stuff and the shield and the gun, and then I'll do a video on the whole thing after I fix his antennae. And just for real quick reference, this model kit is scaled at this is a 1/48 scale, which is roughly 28 millimeter. Yeah, 28 millimeter, roughly, but it's basically 1/48. This is a 1/48 scale M48 pattern. Okay, old model kit I got, and this is a 28 millimeter 1/48 scale Imperial Guardsman from Warhammer 40K. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. So here's our tank, and then here's your Guardsman. So this thing is ginormous. Let me go back up here. I don't know if he can stand up. He probably can't stand up there. There you go. That's him hanging out with his Gundam buddy. They're about to go to the mall together. Try and pick up some chicks. Whoops. Nope, he dead. He gone. Let me get him closer to you guys. Na 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 na. All right, there's your Imperial Guard. Get up there, fucker. There you go. That's how big you'd be on a Gundam if you were 6 feet tall, or at least this specific Gundam. And the cockpit is right here. This would come down, open up, and then there's the pilot goes and sits in there. So it's a pretty big kit. Pretty big kit indeed. And there's boosters and stuff that I still got to put in. Like I said, I got to do the shield. I got to do the beam sabers and then the beam rifle. And he'll be done. And then I will do a reveal video to the rest of the world. Or whoever else gives a fuck to watch. Get over there, Gundam. You big son bitch. He's a big guy. He's a pretty big guy. He's huge. Yeah, no shit. 2 eyebrows. Little fucker, he's missing his that damn eyebrow, you bastard. Never understood those things. The antennas on the Gundams. I get it. Like it's a signature thing for them, but I just it's their communications array. It's like it's so fragile. You shoot that shit right off. But there you go, guys. That's him in his unicorn glory. Ta-da! His legs are loose. Like he does a side shuffle easily. See, and he wiggles. See, a perfect grade wouldn't do that. Perfect grade would stay perfectly still. But this guy's not perfect grade. He's just ball and socket. Bring it. Get some. Book you up, dude. What? My arm fell off. That means I didn't put it on right. Damn you, Gundam. Stay together. You're making me look bad in front of my friends. There you go. Why are you flopping around? Oh, there you go. All right. There we go, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. What's up, Kenan? My dude. I miss you, bro. I miss you big time. I was just talking about you to everybody. Not you specifically, but work and LGH. I miss being over there, man. I miss you guys. Kenan. Tell Grant and everybody I said what's up. My GI too. Kenny, you dirty motherfucker. Nasty, bro. Love it. Love it. But there she is. Or he, whatever. One eyebrow motherfucker. Now, damn it. We're gonna get it fixed though. We're gonna get I'm gonna get his weapons done, and then I will do a video about that and my final thoughts on this whole thing, this whole process and kit. I've built a ton of Gundams, like I said, so I'll go over what I think about the build and the quality and stuff like that. And that's it, guys. I'm done, man. I'm out. Thanks, Crit. I'll see you guys real soon, hopefully. And I'm gonna try and do this like once a week, Wednesday. Just a heads up, especially for my Discord group, my Tabletop Dungeoneers. I'll be doing this once a week, not Gundams, but I will be doing a stream once a week on Wednesdays, and I'll try to keep the subject relevant, for Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer 40K, my RC stuff, and I'll try to have people on. If anybody wants to join in on the conversation, like I said, I'll send you guys the link for the Discord or for the stream, so you guys can jump on if you can. The more the merrier, But there she is, Unicorn Gundam. One ass antenna, motherfucker. And it's funny because before it transforms into this, it actually has one antenna. That's why they call it unicorn. The two pieces come together and it's like one big ass horn right here. So now it is officially a unicorn. No, Kenan, I'm in Wednesdays. This is an actual extra one because I did one yesterday and I didn't finish. I was supposed to finish in 3 hours with this kit, but clearly I was overestimating my powers. And for the first hour and a half, I was recording. I was on. I didn't actually live stream, so I was talking to myself, camera. So when I finally got on, I wound up staying on for a couple of. So I want to be consistent and do it on Wednesdays pretty much if I can. So yeah, this was a little extra special. And there's days that if I can do it, I'll do it. But generally, I try to do it on Wednesdays, so you guys know that I'm up on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock. So you guys can chime in or tell me shut the fuck up, whatever. Like it from behind. All right, brothers. If anything, thank you again for joining me and watching me break my Gundam. My brand new fucking Gundam is broken. Motherfucker. And it's the plastic. This is actually believe it or not, the plastic material on this is different from this. It's a little different. But anyway, whatever. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. Again, we'll do it again next week. Kenan, if you get on, brother, I love you, man. I miss you so much, dude. Tell everybody over there I said hi. Tell Grant I said what's up. Comb his fucking hair. Tell Marie I said I miss her. Love her. And just let Paulino know. Slap Paulino on his ass. Give him a nice ass slap for me. And tell him I miss it. All right, guys. I'm out. Talk to you guys later.